Okay, guys, I have chapter 36 of Amal Unbound. It felt strange, back at the Khan estate. The marble tiles, immaculate white hallways, and enormous windows devoid of dust or fingerprints. None of this was foreign anymore. Nazarene had smiled when I brought her tea upon my return. Nabila admired my intricate orange henna designs, and Fatima hugged me and didn't let go until she extracted a promise of a lesson as soon as our work was done. It was strange to step into this house and not feel terrible, to see people who welcomed me back. It wasn't long ago I was completely alone here. I pressed Nazarene Baji's clothing that night and hung them in her armoire while she reclined on her bed and listened to me describe the wedding. She asked me about the tent and the decorations and the type of jewels in Shabum's wedding necklace. As I described the velvet wedding dress in full detail and the satchels of dates and almonds the groom's family passed out for each guest, it almost felt like I was gossiping with a friend. The purse she carried was so tiny that it looked like a small fan, but it was big enough to hold all the gift envelopes. I told her. My sister Seema joked it had to have invisible layers hidden within to keep it expanding. Was my sister there? She asked. Yes, and I saw your niece Santa. She danced with my friends at the wedding. Last time I saw Santa, she could not crawl. Now she's dancing? Crawl? I asked. But she's Seema's age. You haven't seen her in 11 years, she said. Time gets away from you. But it's your family. I bit my tongue. I shouldn't have said anything, but how could she find time to go to Lahore for shopping trips and not have time to see her family, who lived just 10 minutes away? I wanted to see them, she said quietly. Used to go once a week when I first got married. But after a while, Khan Sahib thought it was best his wife not mingle with villagers. And I agreed. But he takes care of them, makes sure they want for nothing. Nazarene Baji had a bedroom that was practically the size of my house, and the finest food and clothing, but she couldn't see the people she wanted to see the most. Her cage was nicer than mine, but it was still a cage. I cleared my throat. I brought something for you. I went into my room and returned with a box. What's this? She smiled. Ladis. I thought you might like them. They look homemade. My neighbor Fozia made it. Shakut's wife. It felt strange saying Fozia's name in this estate, remembering how frightened she had looked. I haven't had a homemade lado since I was a child. She's known for her sweets. Her daughter is one of my best friends. Nazarene Baji lifted a yellow confection from the box and took a bite, and she closed her eyes. Do you like it? She fell silent for a few seconds. It tastes like home, she said. A knock on the bedroom door interrupted us. Jawad Sahib stepped inside. He keeps calling me, he said. He waved his phone at Nazarene Baji. 5 missed calls while I'm in the shower. Jawad, Nazarene Baji sighed. You think I'd have nothing else to do but cater to his demands? Well, if you helped him with the center, he wouldn't call so much, Nazarene Baji said. He needs you. This literacy center is going to get him more votes for the next election, but only if people attend it. Why is that my problem? I have more than enough of my own things to deal with, and I have better things to do than force people to attend a ridiculous center. Jawad, if a journalist comes snooping and finds no one there, it could hurt your father's election campaign, and that affects all of us. The school can sit empty after the election for all that matters. If we don't get at least one person there by next week, the teacher said he's going to leave. Jawad Sahib exhaled loudly, and then his eyes settled on mine. What about her? What do you mean? She can go to the center. He laughed at her astonished expression. It's not such a far-fetched idea, he said. We'll send her once a week. The center will officially have a student, and the teacher will have something to do. Problem solved. Jawad, it's a literacy center for adults. Better than no one at all. Me? Attend a literacy center? That meant I could see a teacher again. Maybe they could show me how to write the poem I wanted to write months earlier. Maybe they had books I could borrow. I studied Nazarene Baji, not daring to hope. But then, fine, she said, until we can get some actual other people to start going. She